Folks, I'm Sweetie Abochi giving you the AM News now. Royal drums are dead silent while the Menhia Palace courtyard is draped in black and red. Asantehemaa is bidding farewell to the Asantehemaa Nana Konadu Yiadom III. The Asantehene yesterday announced the passing of the Queen after a short illness on August 7, 2025. It follows an emergency council meeting on Monday afternoon where all paramount chiefs in the Ashanti region were summoned to attend. Regarded as a steadfast pillar of unity and cultural pride, Nana Konadu Yiadom reigned for 8 years. Let's take a look at the life and legacy of the Queen Mother who carried the weight of history. Nana Boakye Yiadom has more.
Nana Konadu Yiadom III was not only a maternal figure, but also a guardian of tradition who stood as a pillar of unity, whose influence was felt beyond the Menhia Palace. Born in 1927 as Nana Ama Konadu, she succeeded her mother, Nana Efiakobisia Wampem II, in 2017 as the 14th Asantehemaa. The Queen became an indispensable advisor on traditional and cultural affairs to her biological brother, the Asantehene. Throughout her reign, she championed the preservation of Ashanti customs and became an advocate for women's empowerment. Her leadership style, especially her warm reception, earned her respect from all walks of life, from the palace to ordinary market women. Nana Konadu Yiadom herself was a national envoy who, on behalf of Ghana, received visiting presidents, dignitaries and foreign envoys at the Menhia Palace. At an emergency Asantehemaa Council meeting where all chiefs were clad in black, Otumfo Osei II, in a sober mood, announced the Asantehemaa's demise.
I was told of the demise of my old lady when I planned on traveling. She died on Thursday. We have to make arrangements and inform Nananom.
The late Asantehemaa will be remembered not only for her royal responsibilities, but also for her motherly role and influence in safeguarding the values of the Ashanti Kingdom. Though her passing marks the end of an era, her legacies will continue to shape the cultural and moral fabrics of the Ashanti Kingdom and generations. Nananom say, Wahima Dwe Niamani Kunu. For Joy News, my name is Nana Boakye Yiadom. Kumasi.
Now from Kumasi, let me take you to Parliament because the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has waded into the controversies surrounding the pronouncements of prophecies by some clergymen into the country, and he's urging the public not to be dismissive about spiritual prophecies. The Speaker, who's been out of the country, since the incident happened, revealed that he's received prophecies himself, some of them frightening, but he doesn't dismiss them. He warned that we often wait until disaster strikes before we reflect. The following report has more.
Parliament Alban Bagbin has weighed in on the ongoing national discourse concerning the role of spiritual prophecies in Ghana, especially following recent tragic events that have rocked the nation. Speaking during a condolence visit to the family home of the late acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, the Speaker urged Ghanaians not to take prophetic pronouncements lightly.
Our people in the spiritual world, the imams, the pastors, the reverends, we should listen to them. It's not all of them who are looking for money. No. Don't take what they say for granted. If they say act, act. I listen to all. I myself have been threatened many times. And I listen to the prophecies. I don't take them sleeping. Because that's their area. I can't say somebody who is not in parliament would know parliamentary work more than me. And so I don't know about the spiritual world more than those who are taking it as a career. And so all these things work for good. We should not ignore them.
Also present at the condolence visit was the majority leader, Mahama Yariga, who described the late Alhaji Niru Muhammad as a devoted public servant and a man of integrity.
For me, the loss is painful, but we should live with the memory that they lived a very great life. They defined a path that we all admire, and we will continue to have memories of these wonderful persons. And we want to assure their families that we pledge to remain family members and replace, even though it is not possible to replace, but we will do our best as surviving family members.
As part of their tour to commiserate with families affected by recent losses, the parliamentary delegation also paid a visit to the home of the late former Defence Minister Dr. Edward Omani Buama, who was one of 8 persons who tragically lost their lives in the Adansi helicopter crash. The visit aimed to offer condolences and support to the bereaved families during this difficult period.
Back to Kumasi, where the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has issued a stern warning to individuals and developers encroaching on school lands to desist or face the Assembly's wrath. 17 schools in the Kumasi metropolis have been encroached upon. A development city authority saying poses a nuisance and undermines the safety of students and teachers. City Mayor Richard Ofori-Ajimanbuedi says the activities of the encroachers are impacting education in affected areas as enrollment of students has declined. The warning comes as KMA demolishes structures sited on the land of Duase MA Basic School. This report by Ohiming Tewia brings you more details.
The Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has served notice. It will use legal means to reclaim school lands encroached upon by private developers. The warning comes as KMA demolishes structures sited on the Duase MA Basic School premises as part of an exercise to clamp down on encroachment on school lands. At least 17 schools have lost their lands to private developers, as all manner of structures, including corn mill shop and second-hand car garages, among others, are sited on school premises. Other affected schools include Amankwetia, State Boys and Girls MA Basic Schools, as a cluster of schools, among others. School compounds have become home to private businessmen who transact businesses at the doorsteps of teachers and students. At the State Girls MA Basic School tent garage, Joy News spotted this woman negotiating with a car dealer over a new car. A section of the school has also been turned into a mechanic shop. This artisan was seen busily preparing a car for spraying. NADMO boss Alhaji Mohammed Nasil Ibrahim describes the situation and I saw.
17 schools have been massively encroached with corn mills, car dealership, and all manner of stuff that cannot coexist with the educational facilities. Now, if, like you are in Love FM here, and this your remaining space, somebody has a corn mill, man, can you hear me if I was talking and the corn mill was working? Of course. So it affects them. And we end up saying, Aban school, the salaries and the motivation for public school teachers is far higher than the private.
City Mayor Richard Ofori-Ajimanbuedi tells Joy News the situation is not only a security threat, but academic work and enrollment of students are also affected.
It's widespread. If you go to Amenkwetia, you have some pockets. You go to, as for the Asim class of school, it's a huge headache. The whole place has been taken over. It's been engulfed by illegal activities. And what's happening is that enrollment in public schools in Kumasi is dwindling at a very alarming rate. There's a very beautiful school at Bantama. The Honorable Member of Parliament for the area even did a library and named President Kufuor after the library. That beautiful school has only 18 pupils with one headmaster and 8 teachers. So it means that every teacher can have 2 students to manage. It should not be the case. We should put that full building to good use. And it must begin with creating the right environment for parents to have confidence that when they take their children there, they're going to be safe and they will learn in the right atmosphere. If you go to the State Girls class of schools, the whole place has been taken over by people selling second-hand vehicles. And sometimes it's as if the cars even want to enter the classroom. They've taken over the whole place.
According to Mr. Bwedi, the Assembly has taken legally approved steps to tackle the menace. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohimenteria reporting.
Let's do some health stories now. And health authorities in the Bono East region reveal maternal deaths spiked dangerously during nights, weekends, and holidays due to care gaps and in a critical move to save mothers' lives, they are deploying 24/7 surprise supervision teams to every facility to enforce quality care around the clock. Now, this is coming on the back of the regional director, Dr. Marion Okowusu, confirming 4 mpox cases in the region and issuing a stern warning about staff misconduct. Anna Sabit tells us more from Techiman.
When the clock hits 5 or during weekends and holidays, healthcare doesn't stop. But tragically, here in some parts of the Bono East region, the quality of care has often dipped during these crucial off hours, contributing to preventable deaths, especially among mothers. To help deal with these worrying menace, health authorities are launching a relentless counterattack, a 24/7 supervision project aimed at improving healthcare and ending the era of inconsistent care during off hours. Dr. Marion Okowusu is the Regional Director of Health Services.
Supervision is mainly limited to the hours of morning shifts and then sometimes the afternoon, and we have night superintendents who also monitor. But then we are extending it to a proper 24/7 supervision, where round the clock there's always a senior person monitoring what's happening on the ward and also what's happening at the labor wards especially.
Dr. Marion, who was speaking at the 2025 Mid-Year Performance Review meeting of the Ghana Health Services in Techiman, revealed the painful reality. Maternal deaths disproportionately strike during these unsupervised periods. The new project aims to ensure quality, safety, and consistent care by having dedicated teams randomly inspect facilities anytime, afternoon, nights, weekends, and on public holidays.
From our maternal health data review, we can see that most of the women who died in the region, over half, 50% of the women, they died at hours where we would call the off hours, the weekend shift, sometimes the night. You go home and come back early in the morning to hear that bad cases have happened. And that is because supervision needs to be strengthened in the facilities. And today we have launched the 24/7 supervision.
In other stories, Salt Pond is getting a fresh cultural heartbeat with a new festival promising unity, tourism, and youth empowerment. The founder and president of the Asantehemaa Salt Pond Development Alliance, Ernest de Graft Ejiri, has shared that the Alliance's inaugural Salt Pond Fest 2025 will foster community growth through cultural celebration and youth employment or empowerment. Now, at a press conference marking the launch of the festival, he urged a reassessment of the future, not merely as a passing event, but as a shared responsibility, highlighting the festival's potential to boost tourism and stimulate the local economy. Abigail Isel in Nkrumah has more in this report.
The press conference and inauguration of Salt Pond Fest 2025 and Asantehemaa Salt Pond Development Alliance (MSDA) was on the theme United in Heritage, Driven by Progress. The alliance, while advocating for jobs for the youth, is on a mission to empower the people of Asantehemaa and Salt Pond through cultural celebrations, civic unity, and sustainable development.
We inherit a rich legacy, but history alone will not feed our children, employ our youths, or solve our challenges. We must take the next step from heritage to progress. Our mission is very clear: to empower the people of Asantehemaa and Salt Pond through cultural celebrations, civic unity, and sustainable development, building a future grounded in identity, led by community, and inspired by progress. It is in this spirit that today we announce the first ever Salt Pond Homecoming Festival, dubbed Salt Pond Fest, to be held on Saturday, 30th August 2025, under the theme Reuniting Our Roots, Reimagining the Future.
He also indicated that the festival's purpose is to develop the community and promote unity, extending beyond music and dance.
Salt Pond Fest will be more than music and dance. It will reconnect our people at home and in the diaspora, promote tourism, showcase our local businesses, youth talents, and each year leave behind a tangible legacy.
Samuel Kojo Brace is up next with Business Update.
Well, let's do Business Update. And to our first story, the Republic Bank and Bank of Africa have emerged as the best financial institutions for individuals seeking the lowest interest rate on short to long-term loans ending June this year. This was contained in the latest annualized percentage rate data released by the Bank of Ghana. There is more in the following report.
The data showed that for individuals seeking a facility over a year, the Bank of Africa emerged as the best place to turn. This because at an advertised average lending rate of about 10%, those that were borrowing from that institution paid an average interest rate of 20.22%. However, for those that took loans spread over 3 to 5 years, Public Bank offered the lowest interest rate of 21.43%. This was after the bank added all the charges, including insurance and commitment fee. The analyzed percentage rate, according to the Bank of Ghana, reflects the true cost of a loan when borrowers have to go through the approval process before getting the facility from that financial institution. The Bank of Ghana has argued that the regular publication of this data should go a long way to drive down the cost of lending in the country.
UK alumni ambassador for West and Central Africa, Sheribum Maoli Amenyodo, is calling for Ghana and the UK to expand cooperation in tourism and education. Such initiatives will boost economic growth and strengthen cultural ties. Mr. Amenyodo spoke to Joy Business at the Alumni UK Connect event here in Accra.
I think deepening the relationship between Ghana and the UK culturally, there's been a lot of events or activities or projects by the British Council and the British High Commissions and other British-related trade and culture-related organizations over the years. But I think in the space of education, I would encourage more visits. I would encourage more partner visits with schools. I would also encourage more even mentorship between Ghanaian schools and also the UK counterparts and vice versa. I would encourage more visits because there's almost no substitute for visitation. It gives you this physical immersion that sometimes may not be virtually possible. So I think partner school visits will be a key thing I think will help promote partnership between the UK and Ghana in terms of education.
Let's wrap up the business update with what's happening on the commodities market.